Hello, everyone. Welcome to a beautiful morning in the Arizona desert. Since this episode of Glorious Life on Wheels is airing so close to Valentine's Day, I thought what better way to acknowledge that special day celebrating love than to highlight a couple that shares their love on the road every day. So come on and join me as I introduce you to Bubba and Kat from Tipsy Marlin Travels and their rescue dog, Miss Lulu, in a special episode called Love on the Road. Well, hello, Bubba and Kat. And who is that in the background peeking out the window trying to say hello?
That is Miss Lulu.
Miss Lulu. Okay, well, she doesn't want to be left out of the action.
Oh, definitely not.
So you are on the road full time, and I am just going to show what you're on the road in because it is quite a departure from what we normally see on the road. And you have, can you tell me what the cab is in the front here?
It's a 2004 Peterbilt.
2004 Peterbilt?
Semi, Class 8, yes.
And I was talking to Kat, and she was telling me part of the reason that you decided to go this route is because of safety and having, pulling and hauling a lot of weight. So can you explain it a little better? I think you can do a much better job than I can.
True. One of the reasons is safety, yes, because I'm not saying a 450 or a 550 pickup could not stop one of these.
Mm-hmm.
It's been shown in videos before that they can wreck easier than this semi. It weighs a lot more than our trailer does, and it can stop it a lot faster. Plus, price-wise, we got this at a better deal than we could get a used vehicle that could pull this.
Wow.
And that was put to the test on our first road trip. We were on the road about 20 minutes as full-timers, and a young girl, cut us off and hit the front of the truck, wrapped around it. We pushed her sideways down the freeway until she came around and came off the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And we felt like if we had been in a pickup truck with the way that the two vehicles came together, there's a good chance we could have jackknifed or flipped the rig.
Yep.
And instead he was able to get it from 60 miles an hour to a dead stop in a little more than its own length, and do it in a straight line and not lose control of it. So the safety aspect really was put to the test right from the get-go.
Yeah.
Plus, being a former trucker, it must have had a certain appeal to you too.
Yes, and riding in one of these, you're a lot higher. You can see a lot farther out in front of you. So safety is one of the main concerns about it.
Right. So you all have been on the road for how long?
Coming up on 3 years full-time on the road.
And did you start out in this rig or did you start out in something else?
We started out in an older Class A motorhome, 37-foot Class A that had no slides, and that was our trial rig to see if we liked it or not.
And you were telling me that you started out with one of your children as a teenager?
Yes, our youngest son, who was 16 at the time, was living with us. So there were 3 of us in that motorhome, in that Class A motorhome, and we did that for 2 years full-time.
So what made you decide, who was it that came up with the idea and thought about getting on the road first?
It was mine, yeah. My job took me to Denver, and while I was out there, she had 8 more months to finish out to retire. So she stayed in San Diego to finish the 8 months, and while I was out there, I was watching YouTube and saying, wow, this looks fun, just watching all the other the states that people were going through. And as a truck driver, you got to go through those states, but you couldn't really stop and check out the scenery. You had to, you were just driving through, and that'd be great just to try to start doing that sometime.
And so what was your first thought when he said that to you?
I was all in from the get-go.
Were you?
Yeah. I have always loved to travel, and I've always loved to be on the road. And so it seemed like a perfect fit for us. When he mentioned it, it really didn't take anything to convince me because I thought it sounded like a great idea.
And since this is part of a Love on the Road, do you want to tell our viewers how the two of you met?
Well, I was a police officer in San Diego for
Okay.
22 years.
And I was a starving street worker. No, I'm just joking.
We're kidding.
I was an equipment operator and a driver, a truck driver.
Mm-hmm.
I really was a police officer, though. But we met online.
It was
Okay.
online. Yes.
That's the
Okay.
true story. We met online.
So True Love and then True Love on the Road. So is there anything about being on the road that's challenging as a couple, more so than being in a sticks and bricks, would you say?
She doesn't have very far to throw a pan at me. No, there's nothing. If you can spend 24/7 in one of these, it's love, you know.
Yeah.
But we get along really
Yeah.
well. I mean, you know,
She forces me to get along, but I get along.
And speaking of getting along, you are doing a YouTube channel together, right?
correct.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about that channel?
Our channel's called Tipsy Marlin Travels.
Okay.
So let's think of a drunk fish. Tipsy Marlin. And we started it probably 2 years ago, year and a
Yeah.
half, a little over a year and a half ago is when we started putting out videos.
And I saw that you recently did one on an area right outside of Quartzsite here.
Mhm.
That you want to tell about that video? What was in that video a little bit?
The one where we did the mines.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so we had some viewers of ours who found us out here, and they had brought a bunch of desert toys with them. So they let us drive their side-by-side
Wow.
while they went out on their dirt bikes, and they kind of gave us a tour of the area, and we visited some really neat old mines. There's still functioning gold mines in the area that they're still working, and there's an old tungsten mine that's quite the climb to get up to.
Yeah, it looked
see.
like you two did quite a hike on that
Yeah.
video.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so for people who want to look and follow your journey, it's called, again, Tipsy Marlin Travels.
Correct.
Okay. Well, I would encourage all my Globies to go over and check that out and see these lovebirds who really are obviously very fond of each other. But one of the things I was surprised at when you guys pulled in, this little smart car. Now I looked at that and I was saying, okay, I know the two of you can't fit in that. That's not possible. But you were telling me that it's actually very, very comfortable and very roomy.
And for perspective, he's 6'2".
Okay.
So, you know, we're not small people by
Right.
any means. Our families made so much fun of us when we bought that.
Yeah.
But it's very roomy.
It was designed around a guy that was 6'4". So I can sit in the passenger seat and stretch my legs out just fine.
And how many miles per gallon does it get?
She's claimed 50. I can only get 45. Maybe my foot's heavier. I don't know.
So I bet they stopped laughing when they heard about the
Oh, yes.
45 miles
Yeah.
per gallon.
Yep.
Yeah. So what would you say if a couple was planning on doing this, what would you recommend to them that they do, and how would they best do it so that they won't get on each other's last nerve?
Plan your future. We're not saying drop everything and go do it now. You know,
Mhm.
make sure you do have your future set for you.
Okay.
Good retirement, good pension.
Or some way to support yourself on the road.
Right.
We spent about 3 years planning
Okay.
getting on the road. Now our initial plan was 5 years, and we pulled the trigger 2 years early. Now our first 2 years we worked our way around the country work camping.
Oh, okay.
And it's possible to make a sustainable living on the road doing that. If we had known that, we would have hit the road years earlier.
So now, what are some of your work camping experiences that you had?
Mackinac Island.
Oh, that's very
And
beautiful.
That is up in the upper Michigan,
Mhm.
right by the bridge, the Mackinac Bridge.
Okay.
It was Mackinac Mill Creek Camping. We're camp hosts there.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Our biggest one is every October in Montana. Whether we do it this year or not, I don't know. Is the sugar beet harvest.
Oh, okay.
And we're not out there picking the sugar beets.
Mhm.
It's
What do
all
you
done
do?
mechanically by machines. you can check out our channel and get all
Okay.
the details there about
All
it.
right.
But we work at the piling site, and they have these big machines that take the beets from the trucks and put them in a big pile, and that's what we do, is we run the piler.
So you run the equipment.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it is, if you can stand for 13 hours and deal with the elements, it's stupid money. It is just absolutely stupid money.
Okay. All right. So you're saying that you have options when you get out on the road to make money.
Yes,
Oh.
yes. And people all over the country are looking for workers. I mean, we were beer runners at the San Antonio Rodeo one year. There's animal farms looking for caretakers. There's campgrounds all over the country looking for people to help out. There's wineries that need seasonal help. There's just all kinds of options.
So how did you find some of these jobs?
Workcampers.com.
Okay.
Mhm.
And that's where you went on and you found these jobs.
Yeah, there's 2 or 3 websites that specifically are for finding work camping jobs, and they're a great resource to help you find a place to go work. Some of them you only work a few hours a week and you just get your site for free. Others you get your site plus pay for every hour or anything in between. So there's a lot of flexibility in what you can find out there.
Very cool.
If you're willing, you can do it. Cleaning toilets all the way up to checking people in, whatever.
So why don't we go ahead and start with the front rig? I don't even know what it's called, that cab again. It's called
It's
the
just a semi.
semi.
Yep.
All right. And
Tractor.
can you give us a tour of that? And then maybe we'll do a little tour of your smart car and then your home.
Okay.
All right. All right. Well, head on over there. So we're standing in front of the semi that Bubba and Kat pull their fifth wheel with. Do you want to give us a little bit of information about this?
It's a 2004 Peterbilt.
Mm-hmm.
It's got 900 and some odd thousand miles, so it's pushing 1 million miles on it.
1 million miles on
Yeah,
it?
we're getting close to 1 million miles.
Wow.
I said it was a 2004.
Okay.
2004. It's got sleeper from here to here.
Okay.
We've got one single bunk in there. We've used it in Yellowstone when we couldn't get the trailer in there. We took this into Yellowstone and camped in it for 4 days.
Okay.
It's got a refrigerator. Both seats are air ride. It's got a Cummins. I don't know if y'all know.
Yeah.
Cummins engine. The tires and
Those are
big
humongous
tires.
tires.
They're big tires.
They're what, 22 and a half?
Yeah, 22 and a half. And we will most likely, being that we do not run this as hard as a commercial
Mm-hmm.
semi, we will most likely weather the tires out before we have to get any. I mean, these things only, at this last 3 years, have only got about 15,000 miles a year.
So you can go over almost anything with those tires.
Yeah, it depends. Yes, but no, we can go over this stuff right here.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to tell on myself. There's been a couple of times where I've popped one of those off the bead because I ran over a rock or
Okay.
jumped a curb.
Okay. Well, this is quite a endeavor pulling this with,
Yeah.
this is no joke.
We've taken the commercial plate
Mm-hmm.
that they usually have on here and we put a small fifth wheel hitch on it,
Okay.
and we built the bed so we can pack the smart car on the back.
Let me go look at that. So you've got this. So you've got this built so that you can put your,
Smart car on the
and you
back.
transport that in between the two.
Yeah.
Okay.
Put these ramps
Uh-huh.
here and here, and then just drive it up, and the front wheels hit those chocks,
Okay.
and then I have chocks for the back that we put on, and we
Okay.
strap it down, and it gives us this much room in between the car and the cap of the
Okay.
that.
That's a pretty good system.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you something. Kat, do you ever drive the semi?
I have.
Okay.
I've driven the semi by itself quite a bit. It
Mhm.
used to be my runaround car.
Oh, wow.
When we first hit the road, we didn't have the smart car.
Okay.
So if I wanted to go grab dinner, go to the grocery store, go do laundry, whatever, this was my runaround car.
Okay.
I have driven the whole rig, but only like in the middle of North Dakota on a flat highway with no traffic around.
Okay, okay.
I'm not opposed to driving it, but because he did it professionally, I trust his instincts a lot
Right.
more than my own.
Right.
And it is our home, so that makes it a little more stressful when you're towing. And there have been instances where we've come across, whether it's weather or other drivers on the road, where I feel like I would have had a lot more likelihood of putting us into a ditch, where he has the right instincts to know
Right.
how to handle things.
And the experience.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I think we're going to stop here and separate this into 2 videos. And the second video is going to be the tour of the inside of the semi and the inside of your home. And so stay tuned, Globies, because there will be a second video with Bubba and Kat showing the inside of their home.